Guys, express questions 10 to 15 in the form a x plus b squared plus c. Hence or otherwise find the value of x that gives the minimum value for each expression and hence calculate that minimum expression. Alright, the only part I'm going to concentrate on this question at the moment is the first part. It wants me to turn it into a perfect square. Okay? Now, what a perfect square would be something like this. What you do is, to get a perfect square, you go to the second number and you halve it. So you always go to the term with the x in it. You got it? Always the term that has the x in it, and you always halve that term. So what's going to happen is, it's going to be x, you're putting it into the perfect square format, x plus 6 squared. Now stop there for a minute. What have you actually done? If I was to multiply x plus 6 squared out, what I should get is the following. I'll get this. I'll get x plus 6, so I'll get x squared when I multiply it back out. I'd get my 12x back, wouldn't I? 6x and 6x, yeah? And I'll have 36. Now the problem here is, my equation isn't x squared plus 12x plus 36. It's x squared plus 12x plus 3. What do I need to put at the back to rectify 36 back into 3?
Minus 33.
Minus 33. Now what you're going to get is this. We know that this here is a perfect square. X plus 6 squared minus 33. Now it's in the proper form, isn't it? B is the number 6 and C is the number minus 33. We'll do another one of these in seconds, but I will answer. Hence find the value for x which gives a minimum value for each expression and find that minimum value. The minimum value is always when we're looking for the minimum value of x plus 6 squared. Alright, let's test this out. If I use the minus number, what would my answer be? A minus number. So if I put in minus 3, what would the answer be? For x plus 6 squared. We're trying to find out what makes x plus 6 squared as small as possible. That would be 3 squared, which is 9. Okay? Let's see if we can go smaller than that. What happens if I say x is minus 6? What would happen?
0.
If x is minus 6, this would be minus 6 plus 6, which would be 0 squared, which is 0. Okay, what happens if I use x equals minus 12? What would it be then?
36.
It'd be 36. So what you can see is that we want x plus 6 to be 0 squared. All the questions are the same. To get the minimum value, you always want the squared term, which is this part here. You always want this part here to turn into 0 squared. So for this particular question, what it's going to be is, you write down x plus 6 must equal 0 to get the minimum value. Therefore, x must be minus 6. Okay? Then, what you know next is that your minimum value, you found the value of x that gives you the minimum value. Okay? Now find that minimum value. The minimum value is going to be 0 squared minus 33. The answer to that is, in fact, minus 33. Alright guys, this one here. Start off, number 1, half the x term. Or the x coefficient as it's called. The x coefficient is the number that comes from the x. Half minus 4, what do we get?
X minus 2 squared.
Minus 2. This means that our squared part is going to be x minus 2 squared. Now, what is x minus 2 squared? X minus 2 squared is x squared minus 4x plus 4. So what we're going to get here is x squared minus 4x plus 4. We don't have plus 4, we actually have plus 7. How do I rectify that?
Plus 3.
Plus 3 at the end. Change it to x minus 2, change it back to x minus 2 squared, which accounts for all this part here, and then it's plus 3. That's it, done. Now it's going to ask you for what value of x gives the minimum value. Can anybody tell me? X equals 2. Because when x equals 2, 2 minus 2 squared is? 0 squared. It's going to end up be 0 squared plus 3. And what is the minimum value? 3. So guys, it's just basically learn off the technique for those 5 questions, okay? That's it. And guys, please note that this is not a fraction. It's basically a line to underline. It's basically me saying that this part here, where it stops here, is the same as this part here. It's not a fraction line, okay? So it doesn't randomly change into a fraction, okay? Okay, and so what we get there is that's it, tidies back up. So that was the fraction line, that was the line that I underlined that people mistook as a fraction line. Now what we get here is x minus 2 squared plus 3. The next we're on the minimum value. The minimum value, to make the value as small as possible, excuse me, a square is never negative. So this x minus 2 squared, a square is never negative. So the smallest value you can hope for that to be is 0. So you have to figure out what number goes in for x to turn it into a 0. X minus 2 has to be 0. Therefore x must be 2. That's why the answer for the first part is x equals 2. Now that we know that x equals 2 gives the minimum value, what we then do is we figure out what is the overall value of the full thing. So then we find out that that's 2 minus 2 squared, which is 0 squared. 0 squared plus 3 gives you, the minimum value is 3. Okay? Yes, Rory. Or sorry, not Rory. Like last time, this question is very similar. What we're going to do is we're going to halve the coefficient of the x. Half that value is 6. Okay? So this value we're going to be using is 6. Okay? So we're going to have x plus 6 squared. Okay? You multiply out x plus 6 squared and you're going to get x squared plus 12x plus 36 will equal, and we don't want 36, what we want is minus 20. Okay? Equals 0. So what we're going to get here is the following. We're going to change this back. We're going to circle this, okay? And this part that's circled is going to change back into x plus 6 squared. It's going to be x plus 6 squared minus 20 equals 0. Now what we can see here is that we can see that it now obeys the form x plus a squared minus b squared. So a is 6 and b is minus 20. Now there's a hence way of doing this, but at the end of the day, too many options make things confusing. So we're just going to do the minus b formula. We're just going to solve this question the way we would normally. So the way we'd normally solve a question like this is a equals 1, b equals 12, c equals 16. Okay? So what we're going to get is the following. We're going to get a minus b formula, minus 12 plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 144, minus 4 times a times c, being 16, all divided by 2 times a, which is 2 times 1. Yes, James? Hey guys, so after the first part was done, it asked us to solve for x the following formula. It's basically solve this using we know the answer is in surd form, which means I was going to use the minus b straight from the start. So what I'm going to get here is minus 12 plus or minus, it's going to be the square root of 144 minus 4 bracket 1 bracket 16. And what we're going to get here is 4 root 5. 4 root 5 all over 2. Now, you can trust your calculator to this, but it's going to be minus 6 plus or minus root 5. There's your answer there. There's your answer there. Oh, sorry, 2 root 5. Sorry, guys. 2 root 5 is basically 4 root 5 divided by 2 is 2 root 5. Okay, so the answer is going to be minus 6 plus 2 root 5, or minus 6 minus 2 root 5. Okay. Okay, so that's your two answers there.
Question on test.